What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the OddsShopper channel, coming to you with a Thursday night football edition of Lindy's Leans, Lights, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. We got a huge football game on the docket. We got Washington visiting Philly. Going to be an interesting one. Washington, they've outkicked their coverage. What happens here against Philly? And Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts. Going to be a fun one for sure. Tons of positive EV bets in this one. Speaking of that, well, we've got an awesome deal going on here with Portfolio EV. That is $1 down in the video description box below. Take advantage of that. Going to be awesome stuff as we are going to intertwine some more of that here out through these videos as we go along. We also have Tails. That's where you can sign up and get all of my bets no matter what. And get them for free right now. $50. Well, $50 can go away and become $0 if you sign up at one of our partners here. We got Pick'em on the left. We got Sportsbooks on the right. We got Rebet at the bottom. That is a sweepstakes sportsbook where you have an awesome opportunity to take advantage of all of the deals that they have going, as well as 1 month of the Lindy's Premium Tails package. Now, you have to follow these 4 steps. Super quick, super easy. You're basically just signing up at the books. You're taking screenshots of your welcome email and first settled bet, and you're emailing support@oddshopper.com. That's simple enough. Yes, for sure it is. Would love to see you guys there. But without further ado, no NBA that we're going to be covering here in the OddsShopper section. There's one game. It's got Luka questionable. There's no positive EV plays as of right now from it, so I'm not going to be going foraying into that. I'll be back on Friday with NBA Lindy's, and we'll fire up NFL Lindy's for Sunday as well. But until then, producer Jacob, let's get to the picks. We have the Washington Commanders, the Philadelphia Eagles. Kind of a wild one here. 7-2-1 are the Commanders against the spread, closing spreads. That is Eagles 5-4. So yeah, we've seen a lot of value here with Washington. Don't forget, though, that could just as easily be 6-3-1 with one throw of the football. Hail Mary situation against Noah Brown, or going to Noah Brown from Jaden Daniels against the Bears. Wild stuff. But as we start to break this one down, I'm going to tilt my camera a little bit here. We got Philly at 48.5, this total at the link. It's going to be an interesting one, but I want to point out a couple of things about Philly and things that have changed. One, they haven't exactly had the most difficult strength of schedule here of late. You look at some of the Eagles' recent opponents. We just had Dallas without Dak Prescott. You had Jacksonville. It basically was without Trevor Lawrence. Cincy, basically ridiculous. That was just an absurd football game that they just kind of put the foot down. Without T. Higgins, Cincy struggled at times against the Giants. And then Cleveland, that was still with Deshaun Watson. So it's been an interesting one. It's hard to value how good they are. And the marketplace, sitting at 3.5. But I want to point out on the flip side of that, we're seeing a defense really come into its own here. We knew a number of pieces, whether it was Carter, Sweat. I mean, we had a number of pieces on this defensive line that we knew could play. But we always had questions about the cornerback situation. Ooh, Cooper DeJean, he seems good. Shout out Iowa Hawkeyes. Iowa State's rival is what it is. But Darius Slay out there starting to get back to his own. Quinion Mitchell. This is like a strength of this team. And you have Reed Blankenship out there roaming the desert. They're combing the desert. Shout out my Spaceballs friends. But I got to tell you, I mean, I've just been impressed every time I turn on the TV. It feels like nobody is able to move the ball against these Eagles defenses at this point in time. They've held Dallas, 49 passing yards? The Giants, 43 passing yards? They kept their last 4 opponents all under 100 yards rushing. It's absurd across the board what they're able to do, both in coverage and on the defensive side of things. But now you get Washington. This is the first test in a while, just is what it is. However, we'll start here in the lean situation because I think this will cue you in where I'm going. Jaden Daniels, under 226.5. Now, leans, these are things I'm thinking about betting that I'm really interested in. We've seen some artificial rises to some of these passing yards, receiving yards, props. Talked about that at length regarding like Cooper Kupp. Wish I had jammed the under on Cooper Kupp there with Puka Nacua and he was healthy, ready to rock. However, Jaden Daniels at 226.5. I just look at what they've done just getting after the passer. I mean, it's been absurd. And I think if there's any questions I have about the offensive side of the ball for Washington, it's not at the quarterback position. It's not the running back position where they should be getting Brian Robinson back. Austin Eckler, more of a change of pace back now and can be hyper efficient. Chris Rodriguez probably goes to the shadow realm and they keep, Jeremy McNichols backing up as the RB3 there. But I think the offensive line is our main question mark here. Coleman, Allegretti, Cosme, Wiley, Zach Ertz still in the millionth year of his career. It's really, really tough sledding because Terry McLaurin, Noah Brown, I think they're both very, very good wide receivers. I really think the Noah Brown piece, look at Houston. They could love to have Noah Brown back in uniform here at the moment, although finally got a decent outing out of John Mechie. They needed somebody else to step up. They got it in an L, of course, against Detroit. But Jaden Daniels here, 226.5. This is a big number on the road. We're expecting a little bit of weather here. There's a little rain emoji over top, a potential rain situation coming into that game. I try not to overreact to weather, but I will react to a divisional game on the road for Jaden Daniels, rookie quarterback, despite what we've seen, which is not a rookie quarterback. Alrighty, to the like section. Let's get to the actual play, shall we? And this one was straightforward. This is the first play that I made. I made it a couple days ago, and it was weird because the line really hasn't moved. But when you get this extra hook, you add the 3.5, it becomes pretty... I understand why the books don't want to move it to 3, why they don't go to 4, 4.5. Well, it's because 3.5 is about perfect, and I'll lay it every single time on the Philly side of things in their current iteration. We're seeing their offense come into their own, and I didn't really discuss that. Dallas Goedert, healthy. Saquon Barkley has stayed healthy throughout. A.J. Brown now gets a better matchup, considering it won't be for yet another week. Marshawn Lattimore, the acquisition for Washington, it's gone away. He's still dinged up, still not practicing, and he's out yet again. So Washington's excited to get him out on the field, but that's a big body thotty that's no longer going to be there. And A.J. Brown looks really good to me as somebody to potentially take some deep ladder type shots on, but don't get too crazy. Don't forget that boy told you kick that dirt off your shoulder, something like that. Anyway, we've got ourselves a lot coming up here next, but first, tails. We talked about them. Bet365, they're down below. Let's chat about them here super quick. 11 states where it's available. If you want to support this program, allow me to do what I love to do, which is give you good plays, try to give you the best analysis I possibly can here as well. Obviously, NBA, it's been hit and touch and go for the last week and a half here, but you know what's never touch and go? When you bet 5 and get 150 in bonus bets. That's guaranteed ROI. That's a lot of ammunition in the kitchen. Plus, Thursday, they have a massive promotion going where you can bet 3-leg parlays, 3-leg or greater, that is, and has to be even money odds or better. You're going to get $10 for every touchdown scored in this game. And last week was off the chain with the Ravens and Cincy. This week, well, 48.5 total isn't exactly slouching here with Washington and Philly. I gotta like that for you. You get $10 for every single touchdown scored in the game in bonus bets. Great opportunity at Bet365 tonight. Alrighty, y'all. It's only if you're 21 and over. If you have gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Let's get to the lock, shall we? In terms of MVPs this season, I don't know if we can necessarily just say Jalen Hurts, odds-on favorite, considering Saquon Barkley gets acquired. The defense is completely revamped. Lots of ways, but they're playing winning basketball. My brain was already going there. Don't mind me. That's just for social and stuff. But a 7-2 Eagles team, 5-4 against the spread. It is pretty wild to watch Jalen Hurts week in, week out, getting no appreciation, it feels like, from the national media at the moment. Now, part of that is he hasn't had to attempt more than 25 passes in a game. They haven't really played anybody. And Washington's defense has shown out here and there, but basically, he hasn't had to do much against Cleveland, Giants on the road, Cincy on the road, which looked awful that week, Jacksonville, and Dallas with no Dak Prescott. Pretty easy 5-game schedule, as I talked about earlier. But Jalen Hurts, this guy, I don't know what it is about the 1-yard line, the 2-yard line here, but it feels like there's an invisible tripwire where every single Philadelphia Eagle just hits the ground, and then it becomes push season. And the story coming into this season was, what is going to happen with that? Specifically, is it going to go away because Jason Kelce retired? Oh, friends, you don't understand. It is all a systematic type deal. And when you have a quarterback like Jalen Hurts, who can take that kind of abuse, because it hurts getting hit by 300-pound men coming back at you in the other direction. Not that I would know. I never played football, but love football my whole life. And I don't think I've ever seen an offensive line more capable. I mean, Detroit would probably be just as capable, although they don't have to do it. Jared Goff, you got Jahmyr Gibbs, you got David Montgomery, a little bit of a bruiser there. But even with Saquon Barkley, it makes all the sense in all the land. Just keep letting Jalen Hurts do his thing. And if you've noticed, he is now, over his last 4 games, averaged 2 rushing touchdowns in each. And we continue to get -110, -105, +105, +110, everything in this range. It is sitting at even money and -105, depending on which book you're looking at. Now, there's a couple of spots where you can get it pretty, you can find some -105, -110 where that's just fine by me too. But at even money, this is a joke that we continue to get this in a massive total where they're implied for nearly 2 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts is the guy here. And if I'm going to be backing Philly, there's a really good chance out of the 4 touchdowns, 3.5 touchdowns that are projected from this one, that he keeps up what he's doing here, because Philly gets to that 1 or 2 and it's automatic tush push season. You just keep riding the wave. The ground game can't be stopped. I mean, through the air, it's not like he's been terrible either. 12 passing touchdowns to go with the 10 rushing touchdowns? But we are interested in the anytime touchdown market here for this one, going up against Washington. Really good chance he just keeps this going for us. And that does it for a pretty straightforward edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist on the board. Kind of wild. Brian, just is what it is. Austin Eckler, I thought he was going to end up on the card here, but sure enough, Brian Robinson back in our lives. But check out Bet365, check out Tails. Would love to see you there, and I'll be back for the Sunday edition of NFL Lindy's per usual, and we'll be back on track after a one-game slate there on Thursday. We'll be back on track with Friday for Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks in the NBA streets. Until then, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck for Thursday Night Football.